Chapter 3848. He chased after me. Yun Chujio tactfully did not ask any more questions. Instead, she took out a bowl of porridge from a food box and handed it to Zhongli. Zhongli was about to cramp from hunger, so he did not have the time to be unreasonable. He took it and wolfed down the porridge. Only then did he feel that he had regained some of his strength. Zhongli laughed bitterly at himself and said, "Although I don't have any evidence, there is a high chance that the incident back then was related to Wan Qingba. Moreover, I was not possessed by the devil. I was just drugged by him." "Then what do you plan to do, Uncle Master Zhang?" Zhongli laughed bitterly again. "If it was my usual personality, I would have gone straight to Wan Qingba to take revenge. However, I now know that even if my spiritual power is higher than Wan Qingba's, I have already become an abandoned child. How can I defeat him? If I go out this time, I will hide my strength and bide my time. I will wait for an opportunity and slowly plan it out." Yun Chujio was quite satisfied with Zhang Li's words. Although she was a little stupid, she could still be saved. "Martial nephew Yun, why are you here? Did you come here just to give me food?" Zhang Li asked with a touch of touched. "Yes, I can't just stand by and watch her die. Besides, didn't I get some advice from the patriarch last time in this cave abode? I want to learn a few more moves," Yun Chujio said with a smile. Zhang Li had heard about Yun Chujio eating poisonous mushrooms. The corner of his mouth twitched, but he didn't say anything. After all, this little girl was already his savior if she could give him food and drinks. After a moment of silence, Zhang Li looked at the things that Yun Chujio brought. Everything else was fine, but what was the use of that big iron pot? Could it be that she wanted to build a fire to cook? Not to mention other things, they didn't even have firewood. Zhang Li explained his question, and Yun Chujio said with a smile, "If it rains, we can use it to catch the rain." Zhang Li was speechless. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks, but no matter what, when this little girl came, he felt that his days were not so difficult anymore. Zhang Li looked at Buttface, who was running around, and the small silver snake coiled in Yun Chujio's hair. He muttered in his heart, "This Yun Chujio looks quite smart, but why does her spiritual pet look so ordinary?" Zhang Li asked about Yun Chujio's mission, and Yun Chujio told him about it. "If your fiancé's subordinates are so outstanding, then your fiancé is also very outstanding, right?" Yun Chujio said proudly, "Of course. My fiancé is a very handsome man, and he is also very powerful." Hearing Yun Chujio's words, the small silver snake on Yun Chujio's head had a hint of satisfaction in its eyes. Zhang Li followed up with a few words of praise, and then asked curiously, "Since he's so outstanding, how did you two meet?" Yun Chujio pouted unhappily and said, "Martial Uncle Zhang, look at your words, it's as if I'm superior to him. Let me tell you the truth. My fiancé fell in love with me at first sight. He cried and begged me to be with him. He even threatened me with his life. I'm a soft-hearted person. In the end, I reluctantly agreed. Otherwise, a peerless beauty like me might not have taken a fancy to him." Patter. The small silver color on Yun Chujio's head jumped from Yun Chujio's hair to the ground. Then she quickly climbed into the cave. However, before she left, she turned around and glanced at Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio saw a trace of disdain in the snake's eyes. She was so angry that she almost vomited blood. "You little pervert, how dare you look down on me? Are you looking for a beating?" Chapter 3849. A certain respected figure who had to suffer for his pride. Zhang Li did not notice the small silver snake's gaze. He only thought that the small silver snake was playful, so he climbed into the cave. Zhang Li asked Yun Chujio about some other things, and Yun Chujio could only let the small silver snake go for now. However, the black book in her heart had added another sum to it. The little silver snake crawled into the cave. Its pair of cold vertical eyes looked at the stone bed in the distance. It did not crawl over. Instead, it crawled to a corner and curled itself into a ball. The overlord, who was fighting against the heavens and the earth, was actually feeling even more bitter than Huang Lian. Even though he had sealed the 7 emotions and 6 desires, he still did not want to tell Yun Chujio the truth. Could it be that your fiancé went overboard when he sealed the 7 emotions and 6 desires and accidentally turned himself into a snake? Or could it be that you came to flirt with me? As long as you flirted well, I would be able to break the seal? A certain someone decided to use his spiritual power to slowly break the seal. He would definitely be able to break it. Yes, he would definitely be able to, right? Yun Chujio and Zhang Li chatted for a while more before entering the cave with a sinister smile. She held the silver snake's tail in her hand and said with a sinister smile, "Little thing, you still dare to look down on me? You really have the guts of a bear. Watch how I'll deal with you." Yun Chujio carried the silver snake to the side of the stone platform and said to the silver snake, "Little thing, smile for me. Otherwise, I'll throw you down there. I guarantee that I'll crush you into pieces." Zhang Li, who was standing at the side, could not bear to look at her. How could she treat her spiritual pet like this? This little girl was too unattractive. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks, the small silver snake's eyes did not show any emotion, as if it did not know that there was a bottomless abyss below. Seeing this, Yun Chujio could not help but feel a little puzzled. She remembered that this little perverted dragon was not very brave, so how could it become so bold now? Thinking of this, Yun Chujio held the small silver snake in her hand and looked at it. Whether it was its color or appearance, it was different from the previous little pervert. Could it be that because of the change in appearance, its personality had changed as well? Just like the kitten from back then? Yun Chujio subconsciously used her hand to touch the small silver snake's body. The small silver snake could not help but stiffen its body. With all its strength, it leaped away from Yun Chujio's hand and crawled into the cave. Yun Chujio stomped her foot angrily and followed him into the cave. She saw the small silver snake lying in a corner with its small head upright. Its pair of vertical eyes stared at her coldly, but there seemed to be a trace of anger in its coldness. Before Yun Chujio could make a move, the small silver snake lowered its head weakly. A certain someone's heart was like a dog's. So hungry he was going to starve to death. But, asking him to ask that little girl for food? It was better to starve. Yun Chujio also noticed that the small silver snake seemed to be a little strange. Could it be that it was frightened by her just now? Yun Chujio curled her lips. "Forget it, I won't argue with you, little bastard. If you dare to disrespect me again, I'll kill you." After Hei Shinjio finished speaking, she swaggered out of the cave. "Little bastard? Good, very good." Outside the cave, Yun Chujio chatted with Zhang Li for a while before they began to compete in swordsmanship. Zhang Li was the original head disciple after all. He used the space-breaking swordsmanship that only true disciples were qualified to learn. Although it couldn't be compared to the nameless swordsmanship of Master Ouyang and the others, it was still considered a high-tier swordsmanship. Yun Chujio used the 5-element sword technique of an outer sect disciple, but it was slightly improved. Chapter 3850. Even though Zhang Li knew that Yun Chujio had learned 3 mysterious sword techniques, he felt that a little girl at the 9th level of the spirit transformation realm was not that powerful, so he was a little careless at the beginning. However, when they really fought, he was shocked. Not to mention this sword technique, just this little girl's movement technique was very shocking to him. This movement technique was too fast. As they fought, he realized that although the little girl was using the 5-element swordsmanship, she had obviously improved some parts of it. It was actually not inferior to the space-shattering swordsmanship that he used. It was really unbelievable. Yun Chujio also received some inspiration during the competition. It was not until the sky turned dark that the two of them stopped sparring. The two of them entered the cave. Yun Chujio took out a nightlight pearl from her bag to illuminate the place. Then, she arranged the food and asked Zhang Li to come over for dinner. "Martial Uncle Zhang, you can't use a storage ring on this, so the food can only be stored for 2 days at most. Therefore, I didn't bring much food. But don't worry, I brought a few bottles of fasting pills and fruits and vegetables that are easy to preserve. It's enough for us to last for a month," Yun Chujio said as she ate. Zhang Li nodded. It didn't matter what he ate. As long as he didn't die of hunger or thirst, it was fine. Yun Chujio threw a few pieces of meat and bones to Dog 2 and asked it to eat them. A thought flashed through her mind, and she finally remembered something. Ever since Feng gave the little yellow dragon to her, she didn't seem to have fed it anything. No wonder the little yellow dragon didn't treat her well. Was it complaining that she didn't give it anything to eat? Logically speaking, the little yellow dragon was very thick-skinned. If she didn't give it anything to eat, why didn't it know that she wanted it? Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. Although Yun Chujio had some doubts in her heart, she still picked up a steamed bun and threw it to the small silver snake in the corner. The small silver snake looked at the steamed bun in front of it and then looked at the meat and bones in front of Buttface. Its eyes darkened a little, but it still accepted its fate and began to eat the steamed bun. Zhang Li glanced at the small silver snake that was fighting with the steamed bun. Then he smiled and said, "Martial nephew Yun, your spirit pet is special. Generally speaking, snake-type spirit pets prefer to eat meat, but this one of yours actually eats the steamed bun so well." Yun Chujio touched her nose with a rare guilty conscience. Could she say that the little dragon was hungry? Seeing that the little silver snake was almost choked to death by the steamed bun, the little snake kindly took a water bowl and placed it in front of the little silver snake. Then it said with slight disdain, "Drink some water, so that you won't choke to death." The small silver snake's body stiffened. In the end, it resigned itself to its fate and began to drink water. If not for its special circumstances, it would have died long ago if it did not eat or drink for a few days. Seeing that the small silver snake was very impatient to drink, Yun Chujio touched her nose guiltily. This was really not her fault. Who asked the small dragon not to take the initiative to eat and drink? Even if it could not communicate with her, she and the cute pets did not carry it when they ate. It could totally eat by itself, so it deserved it. It was not its fault. Yes, that was it. After dinner, Zhang Li took the initiative to say, "Martial nephew Yun, you can sleep on the stone bed tonight. I will make do on the ground." After Zhang Li finished speaking, he thought that Yun Chujio would be humble. He did not expect to hear Yun Chujio say with a smile, "Martial Uncle Zhang, then I will not be polite. I am a girl. It is not good for me to sleep on the ground." Zhang Li, however, he had originally sincerely let Yun Chujio sleep on the stone bed, so he only smiled bitterly and did not say anything. Chapter 3851. Miserable Dog 2. Before Yun Chujio went to sleep, she gave Dog 2 a look. Dog 2 knew that Yun Chujio wanted it to stare at the small silver snake, so it immediately nodded its head and lay down next to the small silver snake. The small silver snake thought of the meat bones and steamed buns for dinner, and it looked at Dog 2 with an even colder gaze. Dog 2 was so scared that it took a few steps back. Buttface was puzzled. The strength of a divine beast and a fierce beast were equal. Moreover, this little dragon was just a cub. How could it be so scary? It was really strange. Could it be that Buttface's courage had really become smaller? Buttface raised his head to look at the little silver snake again and realized that it had already closed its eyes. Buttface silently cursed a few times and then closed his eyes. Anyway, his senses were sharp, and he wasn't afraid that the little dragon would do something bad. However, the little silver snake slowly opened its eyes. A certain being's heart was about to break down. He had had enough. He had to think of a way to break the seal. Otherwise, when would these days end? However, how could he break the seal quickly? He recalled that during the day, when Yun Chujio touched him, the seal seemed to loosen a little. Perhaps, it would be fine if he was intimate with her? After a long struggle, a certain being finally decided to give it a try. Therefore, the small silver snake crawled towards Yun Chujio. Buttface seemed to have sensed something and opened his eyes. When he saw the small silver snake actually crawling towards Yun Chujio, his dog eyes immediately widened. However, just as he was about to call out, he was frightened by the small silver snake's cold eyes and didn't dare to make a sound. Buttface was so conflicted in his heart. Although he was a fierce beast and shameless, he was loyal to the little fairy. Could it be that he had betrayed the little fairy just like that? Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. In the end, Buttface mustered up his courage and approached the stone bed, ready to see what the little silver snake wanted to do. If it dared to harm the little fairy, he would take care of it no matter what. Seeing that the little silver snake was only coiled around Yun Chujio's wrist and didn't do anything else, Buttface decided to observe it again. The miserable Buttface kept staring at the dog until daybreak. He thought to himself that when the little fairy woke up, she would find the little dragon. At that time, he wouldn't even need to complain. The little fairy would also take care of him. However, just as he was thinking, the little lecherous dragon quickly climbed down the stone platform and shrank back into the corner. When Buttface was about to follow him, Yun Chujio woke up. Yun Chujio looked at Buttface with dissatisfaction and said in a low voice, "Buttface, didn't I tell you to keep an eye on the little lecherous dragon? Why are you lying here? Do you want to be beaten up?" As it was afraid that Zhongli would hear it, Buttface couldn't speak, so it could only look at Yun Chujio with resentment. Then, it glared at the little silver snake who was playing dead. In its heart, it hated the little silver snake. Buttface made up its mind. If the little dragon was to coil around the little fairy's wrist again tonight, it would report it on the spot and let the little fairy catch it in the act. Then it would see how the little dragon would show off. At this moment, Zhongli also woke up. He vaguely heard Yun Chujio scolding Buttface, but he did not take it to heart. He only thought that Yun Chujio was playing with his spiritual pet. During the day, Yun Chujio and Zhongli were still sparring with each other on sword techniques. Yun Chujio was fighting while thinking about drugging Zhongli at night. She could only go down to the pool after she had drugged Zhongli. The miserable Zhongli did not know that the little girl opposite him was playing dirty tricks. He was still very serious about dissecting the sword moves with Yun Chujio. Chapter 3852. Was this venerable self worse than a dog? During dinner, Yun Chujio took out a wine gourd and secretly used sleeping powder inside. Zhongli quickly fainted. Yun Chujio said guiltily, "Uncle Master Zhang, it's been hard on you. Just take it as a nap." After saying that, she brought Buttface out of the cave. The little silver snake was so angry. Was he planning to abandon this venerable self? Could it be that in her heart, this venerable self couldn't be compared to a dog? A certain venerable self didn't even think about it. He was now a little lecherous dragon that was not welcomed. Naturally, he couldn't be compared to Buttface. The little silver snake took the cold air and quickly jumped out of the cave, blocking in front of Yun Chujio. Only then did Yun Chujio realize that she was missing a headpiece. She picked up the little silver snake and placed it on her hair in disgust. She muttered, "Wrap yourself tightly in a while. If you fall, don't blame me." After Yun Chujio finished speaking, she took out the little Wu Yun from her bag. The little Wu Yun immediately flew around the stone platform. It was clear that there was no problem at all. Thinking about it, it made sense. The place was surrounded by clouds and mist. Naturally, the little Wu Yun could also fly. It was also strange. In some areas where flying was prohibited, the little Wu Yun could not fly. In some places it could. Perhaps it was because the little Wu Yun was not strong enough. After all, that stupid big Wu Yun could fly anywhere. Speaking of which, that stupid big Wu Yun hadn't appeared for a long time. Perhaps he was punished after he went back. Yun Chujio quickly threw this idea to the back of her mind. She carried Buttface up to the little Wu Yun and directed the little Wu Yun to fly down into the pool. Soon, the little Wu Yun flew to the top of the pool. Buttface jumped into the water, and Yun Chujio also jumped into the pool. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. Yun Chujio couldn't wait to take out the big bronze mirror from her bag and adjust the angle of the reflection of the moonlight. Soon, she was happy to see a figure dancing on the cliff wall. However, the figure was still dancing with half of the sword techniques that Yun Chujio had learned. Yun Chujio couldn't help but feel discouraged. Yun Chujio tried to change the angle again, but she didn't find anything new. She could only stare at the figure on the cliff wall. Could it be that this figure only knew half a set of sword techniques? As the angle of the moonlight changed, even if Yun Chujio had a large copper mirror, the figure gradually disappeared on the cliff wall. Yun Chujio put away the copper mirror in frustration and decided to come back the next night to take a look. Yun Chujio originally wanted to call little Wu Yun to bring her up, but she felt that the water was warm, so a bath was not bad. So she said to Buttface, "Dog 2, let little Wu Yun take you somewhere else for a while. I want to take a bath. If you dare to peek, I'll poke your dog eyes out." Dog 2 immediately said eagerly, "Little fairy, don't worry. I promise I won't peek. If I peek, I won't be a dog." Yun Chujio, you're not a dog in the first place, alright? Are you addicted to being a dog? After little Wu Yun took Buttface away, Yun Chujio began to take off her clothes one by one. Then she realized that something warm was flowing down her face. It's raining? Yun Chujio wiped it with her hand, but it was a bright red color. Blood? She subconsciously thought that she was injured, but how could she be injured all of a sudden? And she didn't feel any pain. Yun Chujio was stunned for a while before she realized that there was a headpiece in her hair. Chapter 3853. Ever since they entered the pool, the small silver snake had been very quiet. Therefore, both Dog 2 and Yun Chujio had forgotten that it was still coiled in Yun Chujio's hair. Yun Chujio pulled the small silver snake out of her hair. To be more precise, it could no longer be called a small silver snake because the whole snake had a faint pink color and was still bleeding from its nose. Yun Chujio was burning with anger and gnashed her teeth in hatred. "You pervert, how dare you peek at me? I'll strangle you to death." The poor lord was pinched by Hei Shinjio and almost suffocated to death. Fortunately, he finally came back to his senses and shrunk his body suddenly before jumping into the water. Otherwise, he would have been strangled to death by his wife. The lord felt that he was quite innocent, and it was not what he wanted to see. Besides, his emotions and desires were sealed now, so he did not feel anything even if he looked at her, not to mention that she was still wearing her undergarments. As for why her nose was bleeding and why her body had turned pink, a certain lord attributed it to the fact that it was too hot here. Yes, that was it. Seeing the small silver snake slither into the water, Hei Shinjio became even more furious. She dived into the water and began to catch the snake. Unfortunately, the small silver snake had made herself very small. Moreover, Yun Chujio could not use her spiritual power now, so the little snake could not catch her even after using a lot of effort. She was so tired that she was panting. Good. Very fast. Little yellow dragon, you can run very well, can't you? You can just stay in this pool from now on. You can just wait here for death. After saying that, Yun Chujio put on her coat and pulled her neck to call little Wu Yun and Buttface back. Then she sat on little Wu Yun and left. A certain lord was dumbfounded. She left just like that? She didn't care about him anymore? It wasn't like she had never seen him before. Was there a need to be so angry? Besides, her small figure was only exposed to little he. What was there to be shy about? Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks, a certain someone cursed in his heart as he looked at the nosebleed that was flowing down again. That, he wouldn't die from blood loss, right? Sitting on little Wu Yun, Yun Chujio was so angry that she gritted her teeth. Although she was still wearing her undergarment just now, when she thought about how she had been taken advantage of by that little lecherous dragon, she was so angry that her head buzzed. But Face also slowly realized that he had thought of the little silver snake. His heart was filled with schadenfreude and guilt. The schadenfreude was naturally because the little silver snake was about to suffer. The guilt was because he was afraid that Yun Chujio would vent her anger on him. After all, he had forgotten to remind Yun Chujio about the little silver snake. Yun Chujio directed little Wu Yun to the stone platform and then entered the cave. Zhongli was still in a deep sleep. Yun Chujio sat on the stone bed and cursed at the little pervert dozens of times before lying down on the stone bed to catch up on her sleep. It was only when the sun was high in the sky that Zhongli opened his eyes in a daze. He had slept so soundly that he did not suspect anything. He thought that it was because he drank too much. While eating breakfast, Zhongli asked curiously, "Martial nephew Yun, where is your little snake?" Yun Chujio said unhappily, "It strangled itself to death." Zhongli. After breakfast, the two of them continued to spar with each other. However, Yun Chujio was a little absent-minded. She had thrown that little lecherous dragon into the pond. Would anything happen to it? Although that lecherous beast was very detestable, it did not see anything. Moreover, it was not subjective or intentional. Punishment naturally had to be punished, but it wasn't to the extent of taking its life. Moreover, if it was discovered by others, it might be in trouble. Therefore, during dinner, Yun Chujio added some more ingredients into the wine. After Zhongli passed out, she sat on the little Wu Yun and brought butt face down to the pool. Chapter 3854. Calm down. The small silver snake was coiled on a slightly protruding stone wall beside the pond. When it saw Yun Chujio coming over, it did not run away. It looked as if it was at her mercy. Cough cough. A certain god who had been waiting for the stars and the moon had finally come looking for Yun Chujio. Naturally, it had learned its lesson. When Yun Chujio saw the small silver snake, she recalled both old and new grudges. She held the small silver snake in her left hand and the large kitchen knife in her right hand. She said darkly, "Pervert, I will castrate you today. Let's see if you still have the heart to be a pervert in the future." Suddenly, the entire snake felt uneasy. Yun Chujio saw the small silver snake as she wished and trembled in fear. She snorted coldly. "You know fear now? I'm warning you. This is the first and last time. If I find out that you still harbor ill intentions towards me, I'll castrate you." After saying that, Yun Chujio threw the small silver snake into the water and no longer cared about its life or death. But Face was gloating when he saw the small silver snake being defeated. He moved closer to the small silver snake that was as stiff as a log and said, "Little dragon, when you come up, I will report your crimes to your excellency. TSK, your excellency is a big vinegar jar. When that time comes, you will be miserable." The small silver snake glanced at Buttface coldly and then dived into the water. He had to stay calm. No matter who was almost castrated by his wife, it would be difficult to stay calm, okay? Yun Chujio took out the bronze mirror again. After a long while, she still could not see the figure of the sword-wielding man. She thought to herself that it seemed that only on a full moon night could she see him. However, she did not know why he did not have the second half of the sword technique. Since he did not have the sword technique, there was no need for him to stay in the pool. Yun Chujio put the little silver snake on her hair with a look of disgust and sat on the little Wu Yun to return to the cave. The next morning, Yun Chujio and Zhongli had just eaten breakfast when the teleportation array suddenly opened and someone was sent up. The person was dressed in the uniform of the nameless sword sect's successor disciple. His face was handsome, but there was a trace of arrogance at the corner of his eyes. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. Zhongli was delighted when he saw the young man. Junior brother Zhuang Hong, did master ask me to leave early? Zhuang Hong looked at Zhongli with slight disdain. Zhongli, you are no longer a successor disciple. You are not even an inner disciple. A person should know his own limits. You should stop calling the sect leader master. Zhongli looked at Zhuang Hong in disbelief. His face suddenly turned pale. Zhuang Hong's gaze fell on Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio, the sect leader has something to ask you. Come with me. Yun Chujio stretched out her hand. Where is the sect leader's order? Zhuang Hong was stunned. He then said arrogantly, I am the sect leader's true disciple. How can I lie to you? If you continue to dawdle, then don't go out. Zhuang Hong thought that with his threat, Yun Chujio would definitely obediently leave with him. Who would have thought that Yun Chujio would slightly curl the corner of her lips and said indifferently, I don't know you. Even if you are really the successor disciple of the sect master, who knows if what you said is the truth, so I will not leave with you. Zhuang Hong was stunned at first and then said angrily, Yun Chujio, you better think it through. If you don't leave with me, then you will stay here forever. Yun Chujio shrugged. Whatever. Zhuang Hong gritted his teeth. The leaders of the three sects of the first pavilion, second island were all waiting in the meeting hall. If he couldn't bring this Yun Chujio back, the leader would definitely blame him. Thinking of this, he softened his tone. Yun Chujio, the leader has something important to look for you. You'd better leave with me. Yun Chujio glanced at him. It's fine if you want me to leave with you. Let Marshal Uncle Zhang go as well. Otherwise, bring the sect master's personal order over. Otherwise, I won't leave. You. Zhuang Hong's face flushed red with anger. However, when he thought of the consequences if he could not bring Yun Chujio to the meeting hall, he gritted his teeth. All right, I'll bring both of you out of here. Zhang Li looked hesitant. This will work? Yun Chujio looked at Zhang Li with a faint smile and said, What? Martial Uncle Zhang, are you prepared to wait here for someone to kill you? Zhang Li's heart trembled. He did not hesitate anymore and followed Yun Chujio into the teleportation formation. Zhang Li saw the things piled up on the stone platform and reminded, Martial nephew Yun, these things? Yun Chujio said indifferently, Leave them here first. Maybe one day you will be punished again, and you will have to come back. Zhang Li, you will not have any friends if you talk like this. Zhuang Hong saw the two of them talking and laughing, and he despised them in his heart. They were indeed a pair of trash. They really had the same taste. The disciple guarding the teleportation formation was stunned when he saw Zhang Li coming out as well. He said awkwardly, Martial Uncle Zhuang, Zhang Li still has half a month before the 1-month deadline. This? Zhuang Hong snorted coldly. If there's anything, I'll take care of it myself. You don't have to ask. Those disciples did not dare to say anything more and watched the three of them leave. Yes, speaking of which, that Zhang Li used to treat Zhuang Hong very well. But after Zhang Li's accident, Zhuang Hong did not even show his face. Why did he suddenly become kinder this time? If it wasn't for Zhang Li's accident, Zhuang Hong would never have the chance to take over the position of sect master in this lifetime. I think he would have wished for something to happen to Zhang Li. When they were about to reach the hidden sword peak, Zhuang Hong said coldly to Zhang Li, do you still want to follow us to the meeting hall? It's better to return to the lower house quickly. Zhang Li's face turned pale. He pursed his lips and nodded at Yun Chujio, then turned around and left. Yun Chujio's eyes flashed, but she did not say anything. She followed Zhuang Hong to the meeting hall. When they were about to reach the meeting hall, Zhuang Hong looked at Buttface who was following behind Yun Chujio with disgust. Yun Chujio, put away your spiritual pet. Spiritual pets are not allowed to enter the meeting hall. Buttface glared at Zhuang Hong fiercely with his dog eyes. He was unwillingly put into Yun Chujio's spiritual beast bag. Zhuang Hong looked at the small silver snake coiled in Yun Chujio's hair again. You can't bring this in either. Put it away. Yun Chujio still did not say anything. She obediently took the small silver snake from her hair and pretended to put it into the spiritual beast bag. In reality, she stuffed it into her sleeve. Only then did Zhuang Hong bring Yun Chujio into the meeting hall. There were many people sitting in the meeting hall, and Yun Chujio immediately saw Tower Master Luochen. It wasn't that Yun Chujio went to see him on purpose, but it was because ever since she entered the meeting hall, Tower Master Luchen's slightly gloomy gaze had been fixed on her. Yun Chujio couldn't be bothered with this crazy person. She silently glanced at the others. Besides Sect Master Huang of Xuanji Sect whom she had met previously, there were also 3 elders. They must be the island masters and sect masters of the Flying Flower Island, Ascension Island, and Xuanwu Sect. Chapter 3856 Zhang Xiaoyu. Just as Yun Chujio was secretly poking around, Master Ouyang said in a deep voice, Yun Chujio, when we sent people to the Fallen Goose Mountain Villa, the Fallen Goose Mountain Villa was already littered with corpses. No matter if they were young or old, they were all killed. Yun Chujio was shocked, but when she thought of the style of the Divine Devil Hall, she was not surprised. The Divine Devil Hall's methods were ruthless, so they naturally would not leave anyone alive. Master Ouyang continued, now, all the clues have been cut off. Tell us what you know about the Divine Devil Hall so that we can have a reference. Yun Chujio immediately told them what she knew, and the expressions of the sect masters changed slightly. However, Yun Chujio could see that they still did not take the Divine Devil Hall seriously. This was not surprising. After all, they had not personally dealt with the Divine Devil Hall, so they naturally felt that she was exaggerating. She was too lazy to explain. Sooner or later, they would understand that what she said was true. Sect Master Huang and the others asked for some details. When sect master Ouyang saw that Yun Chujio did not have anything else to do, he prepared to let Yun Chujio leave and then put on a banquet to entertain everyone. Unexpectedly, Tower Master Luchan suddenly said, "Master Ouyang, why don't you ask Miss Yun to stay as well? If anyone thinks of anything during the banquet, it's convenient to ask." Tower Master Ouyang naturally wouldn't make Tower Master Luochen unhappy over such a small matter, so he nodded and said to Yun Chujio, "In that case, you can stay." Yun Chujio frowned slightly. She didn't know what Lan Luochen was up to, but she couldn't just leave like this. She could only stand quietly near the door of the meeting hall. Master Ouyang immediately ordered people to set up a banquet. When Yun Chujio saw the banquet, the depression in her heart dissipated a little. This guy didn't stand on ceremony and immediately began to eat and drink. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. While Yun Chujio was eating, she felt an unfriendly gaze. She looked up and saw a young girl in light yellow clothes looking at her resentfully. When the young girl saw Yun Chujio looking at her, she curled the corners of her lips at Yun Chujio, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. Just when Yun Chujio was wondering what she meant, she heard the young girl say coquettishly, "Master Ouyang, I heard that your sex Yun Chujio developed 3 very mysterious sword moves after eating poisonous mushrooms. I wonder if you can let me have a taste?" Before Master Ouyang could reply, Island Master Chi of Flying Flower Island said with a smile, "This is my little disciple, Xiao Yu. She's been spoiled by me. Master Ouyang, you don't have to pay attention to her. She's just a naughty child." Master Ouyang was not a fool. How could he not understand Island Master Chi's true meaning? He said with a smile, "It's normal for little girls to play and play. It's also good to let them have a competition. Yun Chujio, then you can have a competition with Xiao Yu." Yun Chujio held a chicken drumstick that she had just chewed on and reluctantly agreed, thinking to herself, is there something wrong with her? Why did she have to spar with her for no reason? Yun Chujio took out a handkerchief to wipe her hands before lazily walking to the middle of the meeting hall. Xiao Yu looked at her with disdain, thinking that this Yun Chujio was only pretty good looking. The rest were useless. What did Tower Master Luchen see in her? Just now, he actually took the initiative to ask her to stay. What right did an outer sect disciple like her have to eat with them? Today, she would make a fool of herself and let Tower Master Luchen see who was his good match. Chapter 3857, The Sinking Pulp Sword, Yun Chujio, the difference in spiritual power between you and me is huge. I won't take advantage of you. We don't use spiritual power, we only use sword moves to compete. Xiao Yu said arrogantly. This virtuous lady, if you are so reasonable, why would a true disciple like you have to compete with an outer disciple like me? Don't you feel that it's a bit demeaning? Yun Chujio said faintly. Damn it, she hadn't even finished eating her chicken drumstick, and it was all because of this little bitch. She actually wanted to pretend to be a white lotus in front of everyone. Shameless. Xiao Yu had clearly never met someone like He Xinjiu before. She was suddenly rendered speechless and was stunned on the spot. Seeing that she didn't speak, Yun Chujio shrugged her shoulders. Looks like you have decided to give up on competing with me. That's great. After saying that, Yun Chujio turned around and wanted to return to her seat. By the way, the chicken drumsticks today were really delicious. She could just finish the remaining half. Xiao Yu finally regained her senses and shouted in exasperation, "Stop! Did I let you go? Do you want to disobey Master Ouyang's orders?" Yun Chujio rolled her eyes. Since she was looking for trouble, then let's compete. Yun Chujio took out a tree branch from her storage ring and said perfunctorily, "Since you insist on competing, then let's compete. Let's begin." When Xiao Yu saw that Yun Chujio actually took out a tree branch to humiliate her, she gnashed her teeth in anger and immediately drew her sword to compete with Yun Chujio. Xiao Yu used the Flying Flower Sword technique of the Flying Flower Island. Although the Flying Flower Island was not good at sword techniques, the Flying Flower Sword technique was one of the best sword techniques and was only inferior to the Nameless Sword technique. As for Yun Chujio, she was using the 5 elements sword technique of the outer disciples of the Nameless Sword sect. What was courting death was that she was holding a broken tree branch in her hand. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks therefore, everyone felt that the final winner would definitely be Xiao Yu, and it would be an easy victory. Master Ouyang also thought so. He just wanted Xiao Yu to suppress Yun Chujia's short temper so that this little girl would not float into the sky. After all, Yun Chujio was only an outer sect disciple. Even if she lost, it wouldn't be considered a disgrace to the nameless sword sect. Tower Master Luchen's expression remained the same, but his eyes remained fixated on Yun Chujio. It was hard to tell what he was thinking. 15 minutes later, Yun Chujio and Xiao Yu were still fighting, but everyone had surprised expressions on their faces. Although the outcome had not been decided, Yun Chujio had already won. After all, the grade of the sword technique she used was much lower than the flying flower sword technique, and she was only holding a broken tree branch. Xiao Yu clearly realized this as well. She had originally wanted to embarrass Yun Chujio, but now, she had become the one to lose face. No, she had to win this match no matter what, or else she would not have the face to appear in front of Tower Master Luochen in the future. When Xiao Yu thought of this, she took advantage of Yun Chujia's dodging time to change to a sword. The treasured sword flashed with light and everyone shockingly discovered that the treasured sword was actually condensed from water. Of course, this water wasn't ordinary water, but the special, sinking slurry of the Flying Flower Island. Only the special secret technique of the Flying Flower Island could be used to make the sinking slurry sword. They didn't expect that the sword in Xiao Yu's hand was actually the sinking slurry sword. The success rate of refining the sinking slurry sword was very, very low. It was said that there were only a few of them on the Flying Flower Island. When Mie recalled that Xiao Yu was given one at such a young age, it could be seen that she was very popular with Island Master Qi. Chapter 3858, She Was My Fiancé. Everyone felt that there was no more suspense. Yun Chujio would definitely lose. The reason why the sinking pulp sword was precious was because it had a unique characteristic, which was to reduce the opponent's sword intent. The reason why Yun Chujio was able to tie Xiao Yu with a broken tree branch was because of her sword intent. However, now that Xiao Yu had taken out the sinking pulp sword, Yun Chujio's advantage was greatly reduced and she would soon lose. As expected, the tree branch in Yun Chujio's hand was quickly cut off by the sinking pulp sword. Hei Xinjiu only had half a foot-long tree branch in her hand. Xiao Yu revealed a cold smile. Yun Chujio, do you still need to compete? You've lost. What Xiao Yu and everyone did not expect was that Yun Chujio immediately jumped to the side. She threw the half-broken tree branch on the ground. You're absolutely right. I've lost. Can I go back to my seat and eat now? I'm starving to death. Everyone was dumbfounded. Under normal circumstances, shouldn't they continue the competition tenaciously? Why did they admit defeat so easily? Didn't she feel embarrassed? Xiao Yu stood there in a daze. She had clearly won, but why did she feel so sullen? At this moment, Tower Master Luochen said indifferently, although Xiao Yu won in the end, in terms of swordsmanship, Yun Chujio is superior. The winner of this competition should be Yun Chujio. Xuanji Sect's sect master Huang nodded in agreement. That's right. Yun Chujio's five-element swordsmanship is much inferior to Xiao Yu's flying flower swordsmanship, not to mention that she only has a broken tree branch in her hand. Therefore, Yun Chujio's understanding and grasp of swordsmanship is obviously better than Xiao Yu's. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks Ascending Islands Island Master Luo and Xuanwu Sect's sect Master Chen also echoed. If Xiao Yu didn't rely on the sinking pulp sword, she might have lost. Xiao Yu's face alternated between green and white. Tower Master Luchen's words were like a knife cutting her heart. She should have killed that bitch Yun Chujio with one sword just now. She bit her lips and forced out a smile. Tower Master Luochen and the other sect masters are right. In terms of swordsmanship, I am indeed inferior to Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio, why don't we compete in cultivation? After all, in a real battle, only sword techniques are not enough. Yun Chujio hated Tower Master Luochen to death. This psychopath must have done it on purpose. He was deliberately trying to gain hatred points for her, this scum. Yun Chujio glanced at the resentful Xiao Yu. I won't compete with you. I admit that you are stronger than me. You are stronger than me. Is that all right? If you are willing to compete, you can find someone else to compete with. I haven't eaten my fill yet. After Yun Chujio finished speaking, she turned around and intended to return to her seat. She did not expect Xiao Yu to directly stab her back with the sinking pulp sword. She actually intended to kill her directly. Before Yun Chujio could make any moves, Tower Master Luochen had already moved. With a palm, he forced Xiao Yu back a few steps. If not for Island Master Qi seeing that the situation was not good, he would have stopped Tower Master Luchen's palm force. It was likely that Xiao Yu would not just take a few steps back. Xiao Yu looked at Tower Master Luochen in disbelief. Did he really care about that bitch Yun Chujio that much? He actually hurt her for her? Island Master Qi frowned. Although there was something wrong with Xiao Yu, Tower Master Luchen's attack was a little too heavy. He was just about to speak when he heard Tower Master Luchen's cold voice. Yun Chujio is my fiancée. Anyone who hurts her in the future will become my enemy. Chapter 3859. The entire snake felt at ease. There was complete silence in the meeting hall. Everyone knew that Yun Chujio and Tower Master Luochen had a history of conflict. However, everyone thought that since Yun Chujio had already joined the Nameless Sword sect, it was obvious that she was rejecting them. According to Tower Master Luchen's status and personality, after being humiliated by a woman, he shouldn't be involved anymore. Who would have thought that Tower Master Luochen wouldn't give up after hearing this? And she even had the intention of not marrying him? Yun Chujio's heart was like a beeping dog. Who the hell is your fiancé? You're so shameless. There was another person, no, a snake, who was even angrier than Yun Chujio. Her vertical pupils were so cold that it was frightening. The moment Xiao Yu made her move, the silver snake was already prepared to make her move. She didn't expect Tower Master Luochen to beat her to it. This was fine. After all, he no longer needed to rely on the hero to save the damsel in distress to please the little rascal. However, Lan Luochen actually said that the little rascal was his fiancé. Was he shameless? Perhaps it was because he was too angry. A certain someone actually felt that his seal had loosened a little. He did not know if it was a blessing in disguise. At that moment, he heard the most beautiful words in the world. The entire snake immediately felt comfortable. Tower Master Luochen, thank you for saving me just now, but I have already rejected your proposal to marry me, and I have a fiancé. In the future, don't say such things that make people misunderstand. In front of everyone, I also solemnly declare that I will only marry one person in my life, and that is my fiancé. After saying that, Yun Chujio didn't even look at Tower Master Luchen's uncertain expression and directly walked back to her seat. Seeing the awkward atmosphere, Master Ouyang laughed. I'm old. I really don't understand the affairs of young people like you. Come, you drink. This wine is brewed from the spring water of our Nameless Sword sect. It's very mellow. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks Sect Master Huang and the others also chimed in a few sentences to smooth over this matter. Although Tower Master Luchen's expression quickly returned to normal, the veins on his hands bulged. He was obviously very angry. It seemed that only by forcing her into a dead end and killing Di Biming would she be able to change her mind. Very good. He had waited for such a long time. He didn't mind waiting for another period of time. However, before that, he had to collect some interest. At the end of the banquet, everyone bid farewell one after another. Master Ouyang naturally had to pretend to persuade him to stay, but unexpectedly. Tower Master Luochen said indifferently, since Master Ouyang is so kind, then I will disturb you for a few more days. Master Ouyang thought that there was something wrong with his ears. He was stunned for a moment, and then said somewhat embarrassedly, Good, you are most welcome. Xiao Yu tugged at Island Master Qi's sleeve. Island Master Qi could only thicken his skin and say, Master Ouyang, then I will disturb you for a few more days. You will not welcome me, right? What else could Master Ouyang say? He could only say a few polite words with a smiling face. Sect Master Huang and the others looked at each other and recalled what had just happened. Even if they used their heels to think, there would definitely be a good show to watch. Thus, each and every one of the shameless ones also proposed to stay for a few more days. Master Ouyang cursed in his heart. These old geezers were all just watching the show and didn't think it was a big deal. None of them had any good intentions. However, he didn't have any other choice. He could only reluctantly say some polite words like welcome, gracing his humble abode, and so on. Chapter 3860. Do you understand what I mean? Yun Chujio looked at this situation and immediately felt that things were not looking good. That psychopath Lan Luochen must be up to something bad again. She had to retreat immediately. Unfortunately, before she could find an excuse to leave, she heard Tower Master Luochen say to Tower Master Ouyang, "Master Ouyang, why don't you let Yun Chujio accompany me to tour the Nameless Sword sect?" The corner of Tower Master Ouyang's eyes twitched. He knew it. Tower Master Luochen had stayed behind for Yun Chujio, and Xiao Yu had also stayed behind. If he really let Yun Chujio accompany Tower Master Luochen, wouldn't it be chaotic? Just as Tower Master Ouyang was about to find an excuse to shirk the responsibility, he heard Tower Master Luochen say, "Tower Master Ouyang, the spiritual stone mine in the distant Song Mountains has always been mined by our two families. The 10-year period has come. If there's time, we can renegotiate the share ratio." Tower Master Ouyang immediately understood the subtext of Tower Master Luchen's words. He immediately said to Yun Chujio, "Yun Chujio, if that's the case, you can accompany Tower Master Luochen to walk around for a few days." Yun Chujio was about to say something about having a stomachache, a headache, and a pain all over her body when she realized that her identity jade token was trembling. She sent her spiritual sense into it. She heard Master Ouyang's threatening words, "Yun Chujio, you are a member of the Nameless Sword sect. You have to put the big picture first." Yun Chujio was very shrewd. She immediately understood that old man Ouyang was threatening her. If she did not agree, he might find an excuse to expel her from the sect. This fellow was so angry that she gritted her teeth. However, this fellow had never been one to swallow his anger. She looked at Master Ouyang with some embarrassment, then she said, "That master, although there are some things that I shouldn't say, I still have to say it. I heard that Tower Master Luochen had wandered around Chaotian sect a few times before, and the sect guarding treasure of Chaotian sect was lost. Do you understand what I mean? Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site." Thanks instantly, Master Ouyang's expression was very interesting. He was angry that Yun Chujio couldn't speak, but he was also worried about the true purpose of Tower Master Luochen. The matter of Chaotian sect had been in a heated discussion. It was said that because the sect's treasure had been lost, the sect master of Chaotian sect had knelt in front of the ancestral master's tablet for 3 days and 3 nights. According to the rumors from Chaotian sect, the biggest suspect was Tower Master Luochen. Could it be that Tower Master Luochen was doing this for Yun Chujio, but in fact he had other motives? Not only sect master Ouyang, but also sect master Huang and the others showed a hint of doubt on their faces. The 9-layered pavilion was more powerful than their sections. The recent incidents in the southern continent and Chaotian sect had forced them to be on guard against the 9-layered pavilion. Tower Master Luochen insisted on staying at the Nameless Sword sect. Was it really for Yun Chujio? It wasn't that they didn't like Yun Chujio, the little girl. Though she was quite good-looking, there was no shortage of beautiful women in Towering Sky Continent. Did Tower Master Luochen have to make a big fuss to marry her? Something didn't seem right here. Tower Master Luochen glanced at the expressions of Master Ouyang and the others. He felt a bit annoyed, but at the same time, he felt that Yun Chujio was the only woman he wanted. The gaze he used to look at Yun Chujio became even deeper. Unfortunately, in Yun Chujio's eyes, this gaze was no different from that of a poisonous snake. It was even 10,000 times more disgusting than a little perverted dragon. The little silver snake in Yun Chujio's sleeve had a cold gaze at this moment. Asking the little rascal to accompany him around the Nameless Sword sect? Very good, we'll see. Chapter 3861. An ice dog. For a moment, the atmosphere was a little stagnant. Although Master Ouyang was a little more cautious, he couldn't really chase Tower Master Luochen out, so he glared at Yun Chujio. Nonsense. Tower Master, everyone, please go to the guest house to rest first. I will arrange for Yun Chujio and the others to accompany you on the tour tomorrow. Yun Chujio couldn't help but smile when she heard Tower Master Ouyang say, everyone. It seemed that Old Man Ouyang was planning to send a few more people to accompany Tower Master Luochen on the tour. It was obvious that they were accompanying him, but in reality, they were monitoring him. This way, she could make up the numbers. Tower Master Luochen obviously understood what Tower Master Ouyang meant. He just nodded and went to the guest house with Elder Gu and the others. After Tower Master Luochen and the others left, Master Ouyang said to Yun Chujio with a serious face, Yun Chujio, I don't care what kind of trouble you have with Tower Master Luochen. You have to bear with it for the next few days. If you cause any trouble, I can't protect you. Yun Chujio said obediently, Master Ouyang, don't worry. I promise I won't say anything if I can. I won't make a move if I can. I won't cause any trouble. Master Ouyang, why did he have a very bad feeling? Master Ouyang waved his hand speechlessly, indicating that Yun Chujio could leave. Master Ouyang looked at Yun Chujio's back and took a deep breath. He felt that it was not safe to bet on this little girl. When the time came, he would just send more people to accompany her. He would think of a way to separate Yun Chujio from Tower Master Luochen and Xiao Yu so that there would not be any major problems. Yun Chujio left the meeting hall. As she walked, she muttered, damn it, he still wants me to accompany him to tour the Nameless Sword sect? How shameless! However, there are many places I haven't been to the Nameless Sword sect. It's not bad to take the opportunity to step on the plates. Yun Chujio had just arrived at the lower house when she saw Zhang Li. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks, Martial Nephew Yun, are you alright? Why is the sect master looking for you? Zhang Li asked with some worry. Yun Chujio waved her hand nonchalantly. It's nothing. He just wants me to accompany Tower Master Luochen and the others to tour the Nameless Sword sect for the next few days. Zhang Li heaved a sigh of relief and asked curiously, didn't you reject Tower Master Luochen? From the looks of it, he won't give up? Yun Chujio pouted. Then he's a psychopath. Martial Uncle Zhang, I'm not going to chat with you anymore. I'll return to the courtyard first. Although Zhang Li had never heard of a psychopath, he understood that it was not a good thing. He thought to himself, it seemed that this little girl really did not have a good impression of Tower Master Luochen. Yun Chujio hopped into her courtyard. Just as she was about to take a bath, she remembered the little silver snake in her sleeve. She fiercely threw it on the stone table in the courtyard and then let Dog 2 out to keep an eye on it. Buttface flatteringly expressed his loyalty, Little fairy, don't worry. I promise to keep an eye on this pervert. I won't let him come near the house. Yun Chujio nodded and entered the house to take a bath. Buttface stared at the little silver snake with his dog eyes and said fiercely, you better behave yourself, or I'll have you castrated by the little fairy. As soon as Buttface said that, he felt a cold aura envelop him. He instantly became an ice dog. Buttface's mind went blank. Then, the first thought that came to his mind was, isn't the little perverted dragon a fire spirit root? Why does it look like an ice spirit root now? Chapter 3862. The thought of scaring the dog to death. The ice on Dog 2's body began to melt bit by bit. When the dog saw the silver snake's cold eyes, it had a bold, unreliable, and frightening thought. When this thought appeared, the whole dog was in a bad mood. It trembled and said in a trembling voice, You know, it can't be your majesty, right? The small silver snake made a cold grunt, and this grunt exploded in Dog 2's head. It's over. It's over. Not only did it scold your majesty a few hundred times, it even said that it would castrate him. Did it still have a way to live? Countless ways to die flashed through Dog 2's mind. It was slapped to death, strangled to death, frozen to death, and dismembered by 5 horses. Buttface was on the verge of collapse. He grumbled in his heart, My lord, if you are not a good person, what kind of snake are you? Are you so bored that your balls hurt? Buttface's legs gave way and he lay on the ground. He kept begging for mercy. My lord, it's not strange if you don't know. If I had known it was you, I wouldn't have disrespected you even if you beat me to death. You are a magnanimous person, so you definitely won't argue with me, right? Buttface saw that the silver snake was still staring at him coldly, and he was almost about to cry. This fellow had a sudden flash of wisdom, and a bright light flashed in his head. Immediately, a pair of dog eyes burst out with a flattering light. Your Majesty, I was wrong. I'm not a human, not a dog. I will definitely atone for my sins by doing whatever you want me to do in the future. Do you want to peek at the little fairy taking a bath? Go ahead, just treat me as a blind dog. After Dog 2 finished speaking, the silver snake's eyes turned even colder. A certain deity wished that he could slap this dog, who couldn't speak human language, to death. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. What did he mean by wanting to peek at the little rascal taking a bath? Was he such a person with no moral integrity? Well, it wasn't impossible to go and take a look. Perhaps he could break the seal? With this thought in mind, a certain deity jumped down from the stone table and quickly crawled towards the direction of the house. Dog 2. It felt that the image of a certain lord in its mind had collapsed into a pile of rubble. So you are such a lord. Does the little fairy know about it? Dog 2 stared at the little silver snake as it arrived at the door. It shrunk its body several times and crawled through the crack of the door. Only then did Dog 2 feel that it had done something that had wronged the little fairy. Immediately, the whole dog fell into self-blame. However, between being slapped to death by the Lord and self-blame, it would rather choose to blame itself. However, Buttface soon saw the silver snake crawl out from the crack of the door. However, from the door to the stone table, there was nosebleeds all over the floor. Buttface, Your Majesty, are you afraid that the little fairy won't notice you? Are you deliberately leaving clues for her? Are you going to turn into snake soup? Just as Buttface was complaining, he felt a white light flash in front of him. Then, his nose was extremely sore, and 2 nosebleeds flowed down. Before Buttface could react, the door was pushed open. Yun Chujio glanced at the little silver snake and Buttface with a murderous look. Finally, her eyes fell on Buttface, who was bleeding. Good. Buttface, I thought you were reliable. I didn't expect you to be a pervert. I must kill you and eat your dog meat today. Buttface, Your Excellency, is it really good for you to frame me like this? Where is your moral integrity? Chapter 3863. Buttface. Just as Buttface was about to explain, he caught a glimpse of the cold eyes of a small snake. He immediately lost the courage to tell the truth. He felt that he would not be able to see the sun the next day. Little fairy, listen to me. It's not what you think. Buttface ran around the yard to avoid the whip in Yun Chujio's hand. Yun Chujio would not listen to his explanation. Although she was covered by the bathtub, she was not wearing any clothes. This was worse than the last time when the little dragon peeked. Seeing that Yun Chujio had the urge to cut it into pieces, Buttface looked at the little silver snake for help. However, there was no emotion in the little silver snake's eyes, as if it had nothing to do with it. Buttface wanted to cry, but he had no tears. In his desperation, he shouted, "Little fairy, don't you know me? I don't like people with your figure. I like people with boobs, and boobs." The small silver snake's eyes flashed with a hint of schadenfreude. The little rascal hated people talking about her figure the most. Buttface was dead. Sure enough, Yun Chujio was furious. She threw the whip on the ground and shot a bolt of lightning at Buttface. Buttface, tonight's dinner is roast dog meat. Buttface also realized that he had said something stupid. He regretted it so much that his intestines turned green. Soon he smelled a burnt smell. Woo, he was going to turn into curly hair. Buttface finally thought of an excuse. Little fairy, I swear to God, I really didn't peek at you. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. I just I just had my nose bleeding from the little dragon. I wanted to complain to you, but halfway through, I realized that it wasn't a good time to complain, so I stepped back. In all conscience, I didn't see anything. Besides, isn't there a door inside? I can't see it either. Yun Chujio looked at Buttface suspiciously and thought that it made sense. The door inside wasn't opened, so Buttface couldn't see anything even through the crack. Was he really wronged? Seeing that Yun Chujio stopped moving, Buttface quickly pointed at his nose with his paw. Little fairy, if you don't believe me, look at my nose. This is what the little perverted dragon slapped with its tail. Yun Chujio saw Erguzi's nose is indeed a little red and swollen, and believe a few points. Mainly Erguzi's usual performance is still good, not like to do peep at her bathing things. Moreover, Buttface often and Meng Yensho too mutter, too idiot aesthetic is extremely consistent, like that kind of, well, very full figure. Buttface saw that Yun Chujio's expression was a little relaxed. He immediately raised one of his paws and said, Buttface, swear to God. If I peek at the little fairy bathing, I will be a single dog for the rest of my life and never find a wife. Little fairy, this is really a misunderstanding. Yun Chujio saw that Buttface's eyes were full of sincerity and finally let him go. She said fiercely, remember this for now. If I find out that you are lying, humph. Dog 2 thought to itself that it was indeed lying. Damn it, the one who was really peeking was that little perverted dragon. No, it was that pervert. When Dog 2 thought of this, it couldn't help but feel a little puzzled. His Majesty had always been cold and aloof. How did he become a pervert who peeked at the little fairy bathing? Was he finally enlightened? Although Dog 2 was suspicious, it didn't have the courage to ask a certain someone. Moreover, the most important thing now was to clear its name in front of the little fairy. Otherwise, its dog life would be in danger. Chapter 3864 turned out to be a pretentious act, but Buttface tried his best to flatter Yun Chujio, which finally made her treat him better. During dinner, Yun Chujio threw a few meat bones to Buttface as usual and a steamed bun to the small silver snake. Just as Buttface was about to enjoy the meat bones, he suddenly felt cold. He tilted his head and saw a small snake looking at him coldly. To be precise, it was looking at his meat bones. Dog 2 looked at the steamed bun in front of the small snake and then at the meat bone in front of it. It had an epiphany. It eagerly held a piece of meat bone in its mouth and placed it in front of the small silver snake. Your Majesty, little perverted dragon, you can eat it. Dog 2 thought that it was a close call. It almost said that it was bald. A certain Supreme wanted to slap Dog 2 to death in his heart. Would he, an exalted Supreme, fight over a meat bone with a dog? He was just a little unaccustomed to the fact that the little rascal treated Buttface better than him. When Buttface saw the little silver snake looking at him coldly, he finally realized that he was a little stupid, so he eagerly took the meat bone back. Yun Chujio was initially wondering why Buttface suddenly treated the little dragon so well. Now that he had taken the meat bone back, she felt that Buttface was playing with the little dragon, and she couldn't help but laugh. She touched her chin. It seemed a little cruel to feed the little dragon steamed buns, so she placed a plate of ribs on the table in front of the little silver snake. The little silver snake's cold eyes immediately softened. The ribs were much more elegant than the meat bone. While eating, Yun Chujio looked at the little silver snake who was gnawing on the ribs. For some reason, she felt that the little silver snake looked very noble and elegant when eating. She thought to herself, what the hell? Come and read on our website Wuxia World site. Thanks, noble and elegant doesn't have anything to do with this little lecherous dragon, okay? She must have been angered by Dog 2. Thinking of this, Yun Chujio fiercely glared at Dog 2. Dog 2, who did it offend? Why was it being glared at for no reason? After dinner, Yun Chujio cultivated for a while. She thought to herself that her spiritual power had stayed at the 9th level of the spirit transformation realm for a long time. She had to think of a way to break through. Although little Wu Yun had absorbed some lightning power and could be struck for a while, Yun Chujio was not willing to use it. This fellow was still hoping that little Wu Yun would bring her to fly at the critical moment. Moreover, To break through to the 9th level of the spirit transformation realm, she needed a large amount of spiritual power. Only by being struck by lightning could she successfully advance. She did not know what was going on with that idiot, Big Wu Yun. Why didn't Wu Yun come to strike her? Yun Chujio pondered for a while and couldn't think of any good ideas. In the end, she fell asleep in a daze. When Dog 2 saw that Yun Chujio was asleep, its dog eyes immediately lit up. It looked at the small silver snake with a flattering look and then pointed at Yun Chujio with its claws. That meant, don't stand on ceremony and hurry up. The small silver snake glanced at Dog 2 indifferently and then closed its eyes. But Face thought, Your Majesty has returned to normal. I knew it. How could Your Majesty secretly take advantage of the little fairy? Just as Buttface was thinking, the little silver snake quickly climbed onto the bed and coiled itself around Yun Chujio's wrist. Buttface was dumbfounded. He cursed in his heart, "Oh my, so you are pretending to be reserved. I didn't expect you to be such an honorable person." Buttface spent a sleepless night. The reason was very simple. If a certain black-hearted person was found out, he might be framed again. He could only bitterly help to keep watch. Chapter 3865 was still as mischievous as ever. Buttface stared at her with his dog eyes. He had finally endured until daybreak. Seeing that the little silver snake had finally reluctantly climbed down from the bed, Buttface heaved a sigh of relief. When would this miserable life end? Just as Yun Chujio was sleeping soundly, her identity jade token trembled. The fellow closed his eyes and sent his spiritual sense in. Elder Gus' voice came from inside, urging her to hurry to the guest house. Yun Chujio endured her anger and replied. Then, she hugged the quilt and rolled on the bed a few times. She pouted and began to wash up. Yun Chujio ate a few meat buns, put Buttface into the spirit beast bag, and put the small silver snake into her sleeve. Only then did she leave the courtyard. When Yun Chujio arrived at the guest courtyard, Sect Master Huang and the others had already gathered at the entrance of the guest courtyard, chatting and laughing. Elder Gu, Elder Wan, and Zhuang Hong were at the side, smiling and accompanying her. Yun Chujio looked at the staffing and couldn't help but give a thumbs up to Master Ouyang in her heart. Elder Jiu was a direct descendant of Master Ouyang, and he was very smooth in handling matters, so he was very familiar with the matters of the sect. Zhuang Hong was similar in age and seniority to Xiao Yu and the others, so it was more convenient to communicate with him. As for why Master Ouyang sent Elder Wan, it was probably because he wanted to shift the blame. If there were really any mishaps during the tour, Elder Wan wouldn't be able to escape the blame. Naturally, he wouldn't be able to make things difficult for Master Ouyang. When everyone saw Yun Chujio come over, the expressions on their faces were all different. Xiao Yu snorted coldly, "Yun Chujio, you actually came at this time. Aren't you neglecting us too much?" Before Yun Chujio could speak, Tower Master Luochen said, "Little Jio has always liked to laze in bed. This lord is already used to it. Let's go, Elder Gu. Where should we go to take a look first?" Tower Master Luchen's words were very ambiguous, and everyone's expressions instantly became even more interesting, especially Xiao Yu. Her pretty face flushed red, and her eyes were slightly red. She was on the verge of crying. Yun Chujio's heart was like a dog that had been bald. Lan Luden, this psychopath. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. The gaze of a certain deity in Yun Chujio's sleeve was very cold. "Did you call for little Jio? You're courting death." Elder Gu was also stunned for a moment, then said, "Our nameless sword sect is most famous for the sword pool. Let's go there and take a look first." The guests followed the host and naturally did not say anything. However, Sect Master Huang said with a hint of schadenfreude, "Elder Gu, I heard that almost half of the sword lights in the sword pool disappeared a few days ago. Have they recovered?" Elder Ji was not annoyed and sighed, "How can it recover so quickly? I'm afraid it will take 3 to 5 years to recover. But this is the will of heaven and there's nothing we can do about it." A certain Jio was secretly delighted. What bullshit will of heaven? It was clearly swallowed by the kitchen knife. This fellow was in the wrong, so she suggested that the sword forging hall publicize the sword forging technique so that it could quickly fill the gap in the sword light. However, if the sect did not accept it, it could not be blamed on her. On the way, Xiao Yu intentionally or unintentionally walked beside Tower Master Luochen, while Yun Chujio was blocked behind by Elder Wan and the other two. Yun Chujio was very satisfied with this. She couldn't ask for more. However, after walking for a distance, Tower Master Luochen said gently, "Little Jio, come to my side. I want to ask you something." Yun Chujio said indifferently, "I'm not deaf. Speak, I can hear you." Everyone, this Yun Chujio was really capable of choking people. Would Tower Master Luochen fall out with her? What stunned everyone was that Tower Master Luochen only smiled gently, "Little Jio, you're still as naughty as before." Yun Chujio, "Naughty your grandma." Chapter 3866. Sparring. Tower Master Luochen didn't seem to realize that he had said something inappropriate. He continued to say gently, "Little Jio, tell me about how the nameless patriarch taught you sword techniques." Although Yun Chujio wanted to refuse, she could only tell the whole story when she saw Elder Gu and Elder Wan's threatening eyes. Although Tower Master Luchen's gaze did not fall on Yun Chujio again, his eyes flickered with a spirit that was usually absent. How great would it be if this continued? He did not ask for much. He only hoped that little Jio would always be by his side, even if she was the one speaking and he was listening. Only in this way did he feel that there was a hint of life in his dark life. Xiao Yu's face was slightly distorted from jealousy. On what basis? On what basis could this trash be liked by Tower Master Luochen? Whether it was her family background or spirit energy, which part of her was not 100 or 1,000 times stronger than that Yun Chujio? Why did Tower Master Luochen only have eyes for that trash? Island Master Qi gave Xiao Yu a warning glance, and only then did Xiao Yu's expression recover a little. She thought to herself, in any case, this Yun Chujio did not know what was good for her and had rejected Tower Master Luochen. As long as Master helped her, she, Xiao Yu, would definitely be the one to marry Tower Master Luochen in the end. Everyone walked forward with their own thoughts and finally arrived at the sword pool. Elder Jiyu had already informed Manager Li beforehand, so there were no other disciples cultivating around the sword pool for Tower Master Luochen and the others to visit. Yun Chujio was unwilling to pay attention to Tower Master Luochen, and she was also guilty, so she didn't go near the sword pool. Instead, she sat on the stone steps below the sword pool and waited for everyone. Tower Master Luchen's attention was on the sword pool, so he didn't greet her. While Yun Chujio was looking at the scenery with her chin resting on her hand, the kitchen knife in her storage ring trembled. Yun Chujio's spiritual sense transmitted a longing feeling. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. Yun Chujio was so scared that she shivered. She said with her spiritual sense, "Little ancestor, don't cause trouble for me. Not to mention there are so many people here, even if there is no one, you can't eat anymore. If anyone finds out, I will die. You won't be able to recover either." She didn't know if the big kitchen knife understood Yun Chujio's words, but it stopped. Seeing that the big kitchen knife didn't have any reaction, Yun Chujio heaved a sigh of relief in her heart. This guy decided that he couldn't come to the sword pool anymore, or the big kitchen knife would sooner or later swallow the sword light. If that was the case, she would become the public enemy of the entire sect. However, it seemed that the sword light was useful for the repair of the big kitchen knife. She had to think of other ways to get some sword light for the big kitchen knife. Just as Yun Chujio was thinking about it, Tower Master Luochen and the others came down from the sword pool. They were probably almost done with the tour. Yun Chujio stood up and was about to leave with the others when Xiao Yu suddenly sat cross-legged on the ground. Yun Chujio ridiculed in her heart. Is this little bitch crazy? Why is she sitting on the ground for no reason? At this moment, Island Master Qi said with some gratification, Xiao Yu must have gained some enlightenment in the sword pool. It looks like she is about to break through. Sect Master Huang and the others praised her. They just said that she was talented and had a bright future. Now, they could not leave and could only wait on the spot. Tower Master Luochen did not mind. His original intention was to stay with Yun Chujio more, so he walked to Yun Chujio's side and said, "Little Gio, your swordsmanship is very good. Why don't you spar with me?" Chapter 3867. All is fair in war. Just as Yun Chujio was about to refuse, Elder Gu said with a smile, "Yun Chujio, it's your honor to receive Tower Master Luchen's guidance. Aren't you going to thank Tower Master Luchen? Thank you for 8 generations of ancestors." Yun Chujio was furious, but there was nothing she could do, so she could only nod her head and agree. Yun Chujio was afraid that there would be killing intent during the competition later, so she did not dare to take out a treasured sword or a large kitchen knife. She only took out a tree branch from her storage ring. Elder Jiyu and the others were dumbfounded. It was one thing for Yun Chujio to be arrogant during the competition with Xiaoyu, but now she was using a tree branch to spar with Tower Master Luochen. She was overestimating herself. However, it made sense. Even if she used a divine weapon, she would not be a match for Tower Master Luochen. Besides, Tower Master Luochen would not really harm her. Tower Master Luochen smiled and said to Yun Chujio, "Little Gio, can you lend me a tree branch?" Yun Chujio gritted her teeth and handed a tree branch to Tower Master Luochen. Then she said, "It's inevitable that you don't know the importance of sparring. If I hurt you, don't blame me." Tower Master Luochen smiled faintly, "If I can make you calm down, it's worth it even if I get hurt." The small silver snake in Yun Chujio's sleeve was so angry that it was about to explode. Flirting with his woman in front of him was a blatant provocation. A competition? Very good. Let's wait and see. Yun Chujio was also very angry. She immediately raised the tree branch and stabbed it at Tower Master Luchen's heart. Yun Chujio didn't even see how Tower Master Luochen moved, but Tower Master Luochen had already arrived behind her. She jumped to the side in a sorry state and barely dodged Tower Master Luchen's tree branch. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. Yun Chujio's heart trembled. It seemed that she couldn't fight Lan Luochen with the 5-element sword technique, unless she used the half-sword technique she learned on the stone wall. However, if she used it, she would be in trouble. As the saying went, the layman would watch the show, but the expert would see the trick. Sect Master Huang and the others were all powerful figures in the northern continent, so they could naturally see the difference in strength between Yun Chujio and Tower Master Luochen. They were sure that Yun Chujio wouldn't be able to withstand 10 moves. Yun Chujio had no choice but to use the 3 moves that had already been made public. Needless to say, these 3 moves were somewhat useful and temporarily blocked Tower Master Luchen's sword move. However, after 3 moves, Yun Chujio was once again trapped. Yun Chujio pondered for a moment. Since she couldn't win anyway, she might as well just lose. Therefore, Yun Chujio revealed a flaw. Tower Master Luchen's tree branch pierced into her leg. Although she didn't use her spiritual power, and Tower Master Luochen also withdrew some of his strength, Yun Chujio still staggered and fell to the ground. Tower Master Luochen hurriedly jumped to Yun Chujio's side and reached out to help her up. Just as his hand was about to touch Yun Chujio's body, a silver light flashed through Yun Chujio's sleeve. Tower Master Luochen cried out in pain, clutching his bloody right hand as he staggered back a few steps. Everyone was shocked by this unexpected turn of events. Even Yun Chujio was shocked. Although she didn't see what happened clearly, she could guess that it was the little lecherous dragon that hurt Tower Master Luochen. She rolled her eyes and pretended to take out a dagger from her sleeve. She said smugly, "How is it? This is called all deception in war. You've lost, right?" Seeing this, Elder One could not help but shout angrily, "Yun Chujio, you actually dared to hurt Tower Master Lun. How should you be punished?" Yun Chujio curled the corners of her lips indifferently. "I've already said it in advance. It's inevitable to be injured during the sparring. Tower Master Luochen, what do you think?" Chapter 3868. What's wrong with the little silver snake? Tower Master Luchen's face was a little pale, and the wound on his hand emitted an icy chi. If he hadn't used his spiritual power to suppress it, this icy chi would probably have flowed into his dantian along with the chi. What was going on? when he heard Yun Chujio's words. His pale face revealed a trace of indulgent smile. Elder Wan, there's no need to be harsh on little Gio. It's inevitable that there's no propriety in sparring. Moreover, little Gio is right. There's no shortage of deceit in war. I was careless. Sect Master Huang and the others had really broadened their horizons. This Tower Master Luochen really had a deep affection for Yun Chujio. He was already in such a state, yet he still protected her. TSK, this was really surprising. Yun Chujio cursed in her heart. Hypocrite. If he really treated her well, why did he chase after her and the gigolo? If it wasn't for him, puppet number 1, number 2, and number 3 wouldn't have died. Seeing Lan Luchen's pale face, Yun Chujio felt relieved. Although the little perverted dragon was a bit risky, at least it wasn't useless. It wasn't a waste for the gigolo to take it. At this time, Tower Master Luochen said to Elder Gu and Elder Wan, "There's news from the pavilion. There's an urgent matter that needs my attention. I won't disturb you anymore. Goodbye." The reason why Tower Master Luochen was in such a hurry to leave was to find a quiet place and use his spirit energy to force out the cold air from his right hand. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. Elder Gu and Elder Wan were truly surprised, but they couldn't say anything. They had originally planned to have Tower Master Ouyang personally send Tower Master Luochen off, but they didn't expect Tower Master Luochen to leave in such a hurry. As soon as Tower Master Luochen left, Xiao Yu successfully broke through. She had originally wanted to see Tower Master Luchen's appreciative gaze, but she didn't expect to hear that Tower Master Luochen had left because of an urgent matter. Her eyes instantly turned red from anger. Once Tower Master Luochen left, Sect Master Huang and the others naturally had no reason to stay. They all bid their farewells, and Xiao Yu also left with Island Master Qi. However, before she left, she looked at Yun Chujio as if she had been poisoned. Yun Chujio acted as if she didn't see anything. She was in an extremely good mood now. Lan Luochen, that psychopath, had finally left. She was finally free. Elder Wan glared viciously at Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio, you've hurt Tower Master Luochen. So Tower Master Luochen didn't agree with the sect master on the share of the spiritual stone mine in the distant Song Mountains. Just wait to be punished. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks, Yun Chujio said indifferently. Elder Wan, don't tell me you have a bad memory? Tower Master Luochen didn't have any dissatisfaction because I hurt him. Are you planning to punish him? Humph, you are sharp-tongued. Just wait to be punished. Elder Wan left angrily. Elder Gu glanced at Yun Chujio, shook his head, sighed, and left. Zhuang Hong gloated and said, Yun Chujio, stay away from Zhongli in the future, or else you'll be more and more unlucky. Yun Chujio didn't know about the matter between Zhuang Hong and Zhongli, so she just smiled indifferently and returned to her own courtyard. Back in the courtyard, Yun Chujio let out the restless but face. Dog too was anxious to show off in front of a certain lord, so it said, Little fairy, the little dragon has made a great contribution today. I think Tower Master Luochen must have been seriously injured. Otherwise, he wouldn't have left in such a hurry. Yun Chujio thought about it. Lan Luochen said it was an urgent matter, but he didn't take out a voice transmission talisman to check. Could it be that the little dragon had really injured him badly? Thinking of this, Yun Chujio immediately smiled like a flower and took the little dragon out of her sleeve, ready to praise it. Unexpectedly, the little silver snake closed its eyes and looked very weak. Yun Chujio was shocked. Could it be that Lan Luchen's blood was poisoned? Poisoned the little dragon? At this moment, the little silver snake's breathing became a little hurried, as if it couldn't breathe. Yun Chujio was helpless. She wasn't a veterinarian, so what should she do? Dog too said from the side, Little fairy, quick, quick, blow on it with your mouth, or the little dragon will die. Chapter 3869. Buttface, you do it. After Buttface finished speaking, he saw that Yun Chujio really picked up the silver snake and was ready to blow on it with her mouth. He was very proud of himself. He had helped his venerable self obtain such a great benefit. His venerable self would definitely not hate what he had done previously. Just as Buttface was secretly gloating, he heard Yun Chujio say, "Buttface, you have a big mouth and you are all beasts. You will definitely have a better effect than me. You do it." Buttface suddenly felt as if the sky was about to collapse. What was that? Let it blow air into the Lord's mouth? If it really dared to do that, it probably wouldn't live past today. The small silver snake's body stiffened, and with a whoosh, it broke free from Yun Chujio's hand. What a joke! If it didn't break free, would it really let Buttface kiss it? Seeing the small silver snake jump out, Yun Chujio couldn't help but be delighted. It can actually break free. It seems like it's not a big deal. Dog 2 also heaved a sigh of relief. It wouldn't dare to come up with random ideas next time. If it wasn't careful, it might dig a hole and bury itself. When the small silver snake broke free, it used up all its remaining strength and lay listlessly on the ground. Yun Chujio frowned. She naturally wouldn't believe Dog 2's nonsense about mouth-to-mouth blowing. She felt that the small silver snake might have used up too much of its spirit energy. It would be fine if it rested. However, to be on the safe side, Yun Chujio still fed the little silver snake some pills to replenish its spirit energy. She even forced Guai Chao to spit out a drop of liquid and fed it to the little silver snake. After doing all this, the little silver snake's condition improved a little, but it still looked very weak. Just as Yun Chujio was slightly relieved, the people from the discipline hall arrived. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. Yun Chujio had long expected this. She had injured Tower Master Luochen, so Old Man Ouyang would definitely punish her. However, as long as she wasn't kicked out of the Nameless Sword sect, the other punishments didn't matter. The people from the discipline hall took out a document and read it. The situation was similar to what Yun Chujio had thought. Hence, this fellow was locked up in the Nameless Patriarch's cave abode for a month. When the disciples guarding the teleportation formation saw that Yun Chujio had come again, they all looked at each other in dismay. This person could be considered to have set a record. No disciple from the Nameless Sword sect had been locked up 3 times. After the teleportation formation was activated, Yun Chujio was teleported onto the stone platform. Yun Chujio looked at the big metal pot and the things that she had left behind. Damn it, at that time, she had even said that Zhongli might be able to use it. Who would have thought that it was left behind for her? Buttface was very happy. Because there was no way to use spiritual power here, Yun Chujio would not be able to release the other dumb cuties. Then, Buttface would be able to get the favor again. Yun Chujio thought about it and felt that it was good. She could take the opportunity to go to the pool every night. Maybe she would have some new gains. Therefore, for the next few nights, Yun Chujio sat on the little Wu Yun and went to the bottom of the pool to check. Unfortunately, she did not find anything new. There was no spiritual energy here and she could not cultivate. Yun Chujio could only use the big kitchen knife to practice the sword technique she saw on the stone wall. It was not a waste of time. On this day, Yun Chujio was practicing her sword technique with the big kitchen knife. The sky turned dark. Yun Chujio's heart skipped a beat. Could it be that Wu Yun had come to strike her? However, she did not know whether it was the silly cloud from before or the little girl. However, no matter which cloud it was, she had to settle the little silver snake and Buttface first. Otherwise, she would be struck by lightning and die. She secretly released the little Wu Yun and asked it to send Buttface and the little silver snake to the pool below. This way, she would have nothing to worry about. Chapter 3870. The miserable Wu Yun. A large amount of dark clouds gathered quickly. Yun Chujio realized that she had never seen Wu Yun before. She guessed that Wu Yun must have been tricked by that stupid big dark cloud. Yun Chujio looked at the dark clouds that were approaching her from afar. Her eyes were darting around. She did not have any spiritual power now, so she would not be able to withstand the lightning strike for long. However, if she planned carefully, she might be able to get a cloud wing. While Yun Chujio was pondering, Wu Yun had already floated above her. The little girl, Wu Yun, did not know that the one below was a pervert. It felt that the mission this time was too simple. That little girl could not use spiritual power, And she could not fly. She would probably be killed in less than 10 breaths. At this moment, it heard the little girl below sigh. Sigh, it seems that I can't live anymore. I haven't lived enough. I really want to live another 500 years. The little girl, Wu Yun, thought to himself, at least you know your own limits, you really won't be able to live. Just as it was thinking, the little girl below waved at it. Lord Wu Yun, I reckon that you're the most powerful existence besides Tian Dao, right? I'm really envious of you. You're not an ant like me who can only be slaughtered by others. The little girl, Wu Yun, trembled with pride. This little girl was right. In this world, besides Tian Dao, who else could contend with it? Kill it, Lord Wu Yun, before I die. I only have one wish, and that is to see you up close. Can you fulfill the humble wish of a dying person? Yun Chujio said pitifully. Wu Yun was flattered to the point of dizziness. He thought to himself, it was not a bad idea to let her take a good look at me. It could also be considered as fulfilling her last wish. Therefore, Wu Yun made a decision that he would regret for the rest of his life. Wu Yun started to fall rapidly, and under He Xinjia's constant urging, it kept falling lower and lower. In the end, it was only about 30 feet away from the stone platform. Yun Chujia's face revealed a look of admiration. Oh my God! Lord Wu Yun, you are indeed different from those coquettish and lowly clouds. You are so different from the rest. Right now, other than your figure, there's nothing else in my eyes. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks, Lord Wu Yun, you are the mightiest and most beautiful cloud among the dark clouds, right? You are simply a combination of the beauty of heaven and earth. Just looking at you makes me intoxicated. The little girl, Wu Yun, had never heard such a blatant compliment before. Unknowingly, it fell lower and lower until it was less than 10 feet away from Yun Chujia's head. A glimmer of light flashed in Yun Chujia's eyes. This was her chance. While little Meng's Wu Yun was still floating in the air, she never expected the little girl below to suddenly jump up with the tip of her toes and firmly grab onto one of its wings. Little Meng's Wu Yun thought to himself, could it be that this little girl was too obsessed with it and wanted to have a close contact with it? His naive thoughts were quickly destroyed. That was because that little girl took out the large kitchen knife at her waist and started chopping at its cloud wings with all her might. Little Meng's new Wu Yun was stunned for a moment before he flew into a rage. He was tricked. He was tricked by this smelly girl. However, this smelly girl's thoughts were too simple. He didn't need to do anything. As long as he rose into the air and took the initiative to give up on that cloud wing, this smelly girl would fall to her death. At that time, it would just recall the cloud wing again. This was what little Meng's new Wu Yun thought and did, and then it was miserable. Chapter 3871. Cloud Wings in Hand. The little girl, Wu Yun, thought that Yun Chujio would be smashed into minced meat. Who would have thought that just as Yun Chujio was about to land on the ground, she was actually caught by a little Wu Yun? Damn, did it see wrongly? How could a human contract with Wu Yun? But no matter how it looked, it could not deny that it was indeed a real little Wu Yun that was floating down below. Moreover, it was the same as it, the intelligent little Wu Yun. It was like seeing a ghost. The little Meng knew Wu Yun recalled the flattering words that Yun Chujio had said and trembled with hatred. This stinky girl was really too detestable. However, did she think that she would be able to occupy its cloud wings just like that? In her dreams. The most direct and brutal method was to chop this stinky girl to death. Then, everything would be resolved. To take a step back, even if it couldn't kill her, it still had a way to get the cloud wings back. If she kept the cloud wings into her storage ring, it naturally wouldn't be able to do anything. But right now, she was only holding onto her cloud wings. As long as it kept summoning, the cloud wings would be able to break free from her restraints. Thinking of this, the little girl, Wu Yun, started to summon her cloud wings while descending heavenly lightning. Although little Wu Yun helped Yun Chujio to carry the heavenly thunder, Yun Chujio kept struggling with the cloud wings in her arms, and her strength was getting stronger and stronger. He Xinjiao could not bear it any longer. This fellow was naturally unwilling to let the cloud wings that he had obtained with great difficulty fly away just like that. In a moment of desperation, he bit his finger and dripped his blood onto the cloud wings. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. After he dripped his blood, he realized that he did not have any spiritual power at the moment, so it was useless even if he dripped his blood. Xiao Meng's Nu Yun thought the same as well. He trembled in disdain as he thought to himself, this stupid girl looks pretty smart, but she's actually an idiot. She doesn't have any spiritual power at the moment, so it would be useless even if she were to bleed to death. However, Xiao Meng's Nu Wuyun soon realized that it had lost the spiritual sense connection with the cloud wings. It could only watch helplessly as its cloud wings floated towards the little Wu Yun and were devoured. Wu Yun suddenly felt that the cloud was in trouble. For a moment, it was completely confused as to who it was, where it was, and what it was doing. Hei Xinjiu was so happy that she couldn't take it anymore. How could this be possible? Seeing that Wu Yun was a little confused, she naturally wouldn't let go of such an opportunity. She held a large kitchen knife in her hand and directed Wu Yun to fly towards Wu Yun, wanting to chop off another cloud wing. Wu Yun regained his senses and immediately flew into a rage, hacking at Hei Xinjiu. Hei Xinjiu did not have any spiritual power at the moment. Even though Wu Yun helped her to withstand part of the heavenly lightning, she still could not take it anymore. She quickly directed Wu Yun to fly around and dodge the heavenly lightning. Wu Yun naturally would not let go of Hei Xinjiu so easily. He chased after her with all his might. They were inside a barrier, so there was only a limited number of places for Wu Yun to hide. Hei Xinjiu was soon struck miserably. At that moment, she heard Buttface shouting at the top of his lungs, "Little fairy, come down quickly. Worryless fish." Yun Chujia's eyes lit up. She directed Wu Yun to land in the pool below and immediately sank into the water with Buttface and the silver snake. Little Meng, Nu Wu Yun thought resentfully, do you think you'll be fine if you hide under the water? They'll still kill you. However, it quickly found out that the wretched girl was gone. Little Meng, Nu Wu Yun searched for a long time but still couldn't find Yun Chujio. It was so angry that it made a mess before it reluctantly floated away. Chapter 3872. The little bastard who wasn't quite right. Hei Xinjiu was already in the underground river, but she didn't dare to go out. Last time, the worryless fish incident had caused a commotion. If the disciples guarding the river found out, wouldn't they confess? At that time, Elder Wan, that old bastard, would definitely take the opportunity to get Master Ouyang to kick her out of the sect, so she couldn't just go out like that. Moreover, after a few days of trouble last time, she had found the remaining carefree fish in the dark river. In order to prevent further accidents, she had specially reinforced the array formation, so she couldn't leave. Previously, Hei Xinjiu had been very happy because she had obtained a cloud wing and her spiritual power had broken through to the 3rd level of spiritual link. But now, she couldn't be happy anymore. How could she get out? Buttface, on the other hand, was swimming around in the dark river carelessly. As he swam, he muttered, "Little fairy, why do you think the water is so hot? It's so comfortable." Yun Chujia's heart skipped a beat. Although the pool was connected to the dark river, the water in the dark river was obviously hot spring water. If she could find the source of the hot spring, wouldn't she have a way to get out? This guy took out a map from his storage ring and carefully examined it. His gaze fell on Lai Yen Mountain Range, which was hundreds of miles away from the nameless sword sect. Lai Yen Mountain Range was famous for producing earth fire. Most of the earth fire of the major sects came from this place. The major forces reached a tacit agreement not to disturb the fire spirit beasts living in it. They only used special containers to transport the earth fire on a regular basis. It had been peaceful for so many years. There was a very famous spring in Lai Yen Mountain Range. The spring water was boiling all year round. Because the temperature was too high, there were no living things in it, so it was named King of Hell Spring. Yun Chujio felt that the source of this underground river was most likely the King of Hell Spring. She had the fire-repelling pearl on her body, so she was naturally not afraid of the heat of the King of Hell Spring and earth fire. However, this way she would be out of the nameless sword sect, and it would be hard to explain when the time came. Just as Yun Chujio was frowning, Buttface said eagerly, "Little fairy, why don't we swim back from the vortex? Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site." Thanks. Yun Chujio was just about to scold Buttface for spouting nonsense when the vortex was panting heavily. How could they swim back? However, she suddenly had a thought. She had the water-repellent pearl in her hand. Why not give it a try? Therefore, Yun Chujio put Buttface into the spirit beast bag and the silver snake into her sleeve bag. She activated the water-repellent bead and swam toward the vortex. Yun Chujio was still far away from the vortex, but she couldn't move an inch. She tried several times but failed. At this moment, Buttface said in the spirit beast bag, "Little fairy, isn't Little Bastard an aquatic demon beast? Since the carefree fish can swim into the pool, Little Bastard must be able to do it too. Why don't you let it try?" Yun Chujio's eyes lit up. That's right. Thinking of the little bastard, Yun Chujio realized that the little bastard hadn't been around recently. Sometimes, when she let the dumb cuties out to play, the little bastard would rarely come out. This didn't seem right. Yun Chujio recalled that the Xuanwu egg had strangely become an empty shell. Could it be that the little bastard was in the same situation as the cat cub? Yun Chujio thought as she released the little bastard. She was surprised to find that the patterns on the little bastard's turtle shell had changed. It was exactly the same as the black tortoise shell she saw back then. Yun Chujio's heart sank. It was really the same as the cat cub situation? Yun Chujio did not know what to do next. The little bastard cried, "Master, master, I don't want to live anymore. I think I'm going to turn into a monster." Yun Chujio. Chapter 3873. You will not become a monster. Just as Yun Chujio was in a daze, the little bastard continued, "Master, ever since you gave me that thumb-sized black tortoise shell in the underground stone hall of the North Xian Kingdom, I feel that I have become different from before. I am no longer me. Look at my turtle shell. This is not what it used to look like. My claws are also different from before. I will not become a monster, right?" As the little bastard spoke, Yun Chujio stared into its eyes. She realized that other than fear and helplessness, there was no trace of guilt in the little bastard's eyes. Could it be that it was different from the cat cub? Yun Chujio decided to observe it again. However, before that, she had to return to the pool. Otherwise, it would be terrible if a disciple came to inspect it. Yun Chujio thought of this and said, "Little bastard, you don't have to be afraid. Maybe this is a good thing. Maybe it's because you've obtained the black tortoise's shell that your body has changed in the direction of the black tortoise. Yes, just like Xiaohong. Ever since it obtained the nine-tailed fox's bones, hasn't it already grown 4 tails? Yes." Hearing Yun Chujio's words, the little bastard's eyes suddenly lit up. "Really? Master, you didn't lie to me? I won't turn into a monster?" Yun Chujio sighed silently. She was simply speechless. As a fierce beast, Dog too was afraid of ghosts. As a monster, the little bastard was afraid of monsters. Was this a joke? However, Yun Chujio still comforted her. "Don't worry, you won't turn into a monster. Do you have any way to swim to the pool? If possible, they'll tie a rope around your body and you can pull me up." The little bastard might have solved his long-standing confusion, so he said excitedly, "No problem, this is not a difficult thing at all. Master, you don't need to tie a rope, just ride on my back. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site." Thanks. Yun Chujio looked at the little bastard that was only the size of a wash basin and was speechless. Ride on its back? Was this letting her be independent? However, she was soon dumbfounded when she saw that the little bastard began to grow at a speed visible to the naked eye, becoming 10 times its original size. Yun Chujio looked at the little bastard with a somewhat complicated expression. This little bastard suddenly gained some ability. Could it really be because of that small piece of black tortoise shell? Or was there something fishy going on? Just as Yun Chujio was thinking about it, Buttface said from inside the spirit beast bag, "Little fairy, let me out. Otherwise, others will ask." Yun Chujio thought about it and felt that it made sense. When she came, she was carrying dog 2. If she didn't get it out, it wouldn't be easy. Yun Chujio carried dog 2 and sat on the little bastard's back. She kept thinking about the little bastard. Unfortunately, until the little bastard brought Yun Chujio safely into the pool, Yun Chujio couldn't think of a reason. She could only let the little bastard become smaller and bring it to the stone platform on the little dark cloud. Just as Yun Chujio was thinking of asking the little bastard in detail, there was a flash of light on the teleportation array. Someone had actually come. Yun Chujio looked at the little bastard and in a moment of panic, she stuffed it directly into the big metal pot. Almost as soon as Yun Chujio stuffed the little bastard into the big metal pot, the person who had been teleported arrived. Zhuang Hong could not help but be stunned when he saw Yun Chujio, and then he said mockingly, "Yun Chujio, have you been struck by lightning until your head is bald? However, it is really surprising that you have not been struck to death by lightning." Chapter 3874. Have you never seen a bald head before? Yun Chujio subconsciously wiped her head. It was indeed a bald head. Damn. She had been thinking of a way earlier, but she had actually forgotten about this. It was over. Her glorious image had completely collapsed. Just as He Xinjiu was in a daze, Zhuang Hong said with a hint of mockery, "Tower Master Luochen heard that you were punished, so he specially interceded with the sect leader to ask him not to punish you. You really have some tricks up your sleeve." Yun Chujio raised her eyebrows. "Uncle Master Zhuang Hong, why do I feel that your words are sour? Since you are so envious of me, why don't you go and seduce Tower Master Lun? Who knows, Tower Master Luochen might have both men and women." Zhuang Hong's face was livid with anger. He suppressed his anger and sneered, "I will not stoop to your level. Let's go. Do you still want to stay here for a long time?" Yun Chujio felt that there was something fishy going on. Otherwise, as the personal disciple of the sect master, why would Zhuang Hong come to pick her up personally? However, she was indeed tired of staying here. It was not bad to take the opportunity to leave. Therefore, He Xinjiu started to pack up her things. She even tied up the quilt and placed it on the teleportation array. Finally, she carried the big metal pot behind her. Zhuang Hong looked impatient. He thought to himself, this Yun Chujio is really petty. What's the point of having all this junk? Finally, Yun Chujio packed up her things and stood on the teleportation array. A white light flashed and Yun Chujio and Zhuang Hong were teleported outside. Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. The disciples guarding the teleportation array froze when they saw Yun Chujio's shiny hairstyle. This person had seen through the mortal world and was about to become a monk? Yun Chujio glared at them. "What are you looking at? Haven't you seen a bald head before? This hairstyle is cool." The disciples curled their lips. Could it be that Yun Chujio had lost her mind? Yun Chujio's heart was actually more miserable than anyone else's. Damn it, that darn cute little Wu Yun. The next time she saw it, she would definitely bring its cloud wings over and let it run away. This bastard randomly put all these things into her storage ring. Of course, the reason why she took all these things down was to hide the little bastard. While everyone was not paying attention, while she was taking in dog 2. She also put the little bastard into her spirit beast bag. Yun Chujio took out a handkerchief and tied it on her head. She still had 2 cute little tails behind her. When the disciples guarding the teleportation array saw this, they were a little surprised. They did not expect that Yun Chujio would not only not look ugly, but also look more beautiful than the other female disciples. Just as Yun Chujio was about to separate from Zhuang Hong said, "The sect leader is looking for you for something. Come with me." Yun Chujio pouted. She knew that there was something fishy going on. Yun Chujio followed Zhuang Hong to the meeting hall. Not only was sect leader Ouyang present, almost all the higher-ups of the sect were present. Did something happen? And it seemed like it had something to do with her? Everyone was stunned when they saw the handkerchief on Yun Chujio's head. However, when they recalled the heavenly lightning, they immediately understood. They couldn't help but sigh in their hearts. Yun Chujio was really lucky to not be struck to death by the heavenly lightning. Although they knew that the female emperor of Fenghua was a person, they didn't take it to heart. Hence, no one bothered to investigate Yun Chujio's matter. Hence, they didn't know that He Xinjiu wasn't afraid of being struck by lightning. Of course, even if they sent people to investigate, based on how these people felt that they were superior to others, they would only think that this was a rumor and wouldn't believe it. Chapter 3875 was to scheme against her spirit stones. Yun Chujio bowed and waited obediently. Sure enough, Master Ouyang coughed dryly and said, "Yun Chujio, you hurt Tower Master Luchen for no reason. Do you know your crime?" Yun Chujio said obediently, "I know my crime. I won't do it again." Master Ouyang nodded, then paused and said, "Tower Master Luchen sent a message to me to plead on your behalf. That's why I let you go in advance. However, because you hurt Tower Master Luchen forced our Nameless Sword sect to give up 2 portions of the spiritual stone mine in the distant Song Mountains. Otherwise, our Nameless Sword sect would have to hand you over to him. I know that you already have someone who is happy for you, and you are a disciple of our Nameless Sword sect. We will protect you, but you have to know that 2 portions of the spiritual stone mine are too important to our Nameless Sword sect. If we want to maintain such a large sect, it will be difficult for us to move an inch without spirit stones. Sigh, so I am in a difficult position. I have gathered all the elders here to discuss this matter. You are the party involved. What do you have to say?" Yun Chujio secretly cursed Lan Luochen in her heart. He was really shameless. He was simply using everything he had. He was actually able to use such a despicable move. Seeing that Yun Chujio was silent, Master Ouyang continued, "Tower Master Luochen is the best candidate for a husband in the hearts of the women of the northern continent. Actually, it's not bad for you to marry him. Otherwise, don't be stubborn." When the small silver snake in Yun Chujio's sleeve heard Master Ouyang's words, it immediately crossed Master Ouyang's name in its heart. However, he was more annoyed. After he turned into the little silver snake, his spiritual power was insufficient. Otherwise, that strike would have at least taken half of Lan Luchen's life, so he temporarily did not have the energy to make things difficult for the little rascal. Yun Chujio only smiled bitterly, but she still did not say anything. This fellow was very shrewd. She knew that Master Ouyang definitely had other things to say. Otherwise, why not just tie her up and send her to the 9 pavilions? Why did he have to flirt with her here? Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks. Sure enough, Master Ouyang changed the topic. Sigh, you little girl are really passionate. It seems that you want change your mind. We've all been young before, and we know that it's not sweet to force things. How about this? As long as you can make up for the 2 portions of the spirit stone mine, this matter will be treated as if it never happened. What do you think? Yun Chujio cursed in her heart. She had already said it, there must be a plan. After all this trouble, it turned out that they were scheming against her spirit stones. Yun Chujio pretended to be pleasantly surprised. Really? Sect Master, thank you very much. Since I was the one who caused the trouble, it's only right for me to compensate the spirit stones. However, how many spirit stones do I need to make up for the 2 portions of the spirit stone mine? When I left the Towering Sky Empire, I didn't bring too many spirit stones, so am very poor. If it's too much, I can't afford it. Master Ouyang saw Yun Chujio's pleasantly surprised look, and his old face was a little uncomfortable. His current behavior was similar to taking advantage of a burning house. However, if he didn't do this, he wouldn't be able to explain to the other elders, especially since Elder One had always been eyeing the position of Master, so he had to be careful. Master Ouyang coughed dryly, thinking that since this little girl did not have much money, he would just say it according to the minimum amount, so he said, 1 billion upper-grade spirit stones should be enough. Yun Chujio heaved a sigh of relief in her heart. Damn it, she was shocked. She thought that it would be a lot of spirit stones. So it was only 1 billion. If Master Ouyang knew that 1 billion upper-grade spirit stones was a drop in the ocean for this guy, he would probably regret it so much that his intestines would turn green. If he had known earlier, he would have said more. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.